So we've just finished with learning how to navigate through PubMed, which is an awesome database to use when searching for research articles. Another free website that's available to you that yields pretty good results and a lot of full text journal articles is Google Scholar. So when you open up your web browser, you're going to go to scholar.google.com. And then from there, you will see the traditional Google homepage pop up. But this one is specific to searching for research articles. And so what you're going to do is select your username that you are operating under. And then what I like to do is go right into the My Library tab. From there, if it's your first time using Google Scholar, you will see this Getting Started page. And what this Getting Started page allows you to do is set up your library, which is really a neat function. It will allow you to save research articles that you found within your search. So the first thing that we need to do to get started in Google Scholar is to click the Enable tab. Once you do that, you're automatically taken to your My Library. However, you'll see, because this is the first time that I'm using this email address, I have no articles saved in My Library currently. So what I'm going to do is click on the Articles tab, and I'm going to continue with our carpal tunnel case study. So I'm going to type in carpal tunnel syndrome, hit return, and what you will see is a list of research articles, right? Some of them are just going to be abstracts when you click on them, and then others are going to yield full text or full journal articles. And so you can identify those by looking at the title, and to the right side of that title will be another link, and that link is, generally speaking, a link to the actual full text version of the journal article. So you can tell here there are at least 3 or 4 full text journal articles available as it relates to the topic of carpal tunnel. But back to being able to save research articles. So let's say I really don't want to read these articles right now. I want to go back to them a little bit later, but I want to save the ones that are at least full text, right? Because that's a benefit. I can read these articles and synthesize them. So I'm going to click the Saved button. And what you will see is that when you click that Save tab, that it will then say Saved on it. And so I'm going to click on the 3 that are full text, okay? And then what I'm going to do is go back to My Library, where I can then confirm that those full text journal articles are now in my library. So let's say I don't want to finish up my Google Scholar search. I want to go back to PubMed. And then, oh man, I want to go back to Google Scholar. I can go back to Google Scholar, click on My Library, and now I have those articles that I saved in my library, right? And so again, My Library, and those 3 research articles that I saved are now there for me to review later on when I get home. So that's a great benefit. Other things that are different about Google Scholar when we compare it to PubMed is this drop down arrow here. So if we wanted to do an advanced search, we could. In PubMed, I talked a lot about Boolean search terms and the use of parentheses. However, in Google Scholar, they actually give you different categories to type into, and obviously you can read the categories, but you can type in carpal tunnel syndrome and it'll search all of the words, or you can type in carpal tunnel and it will search for that exact entire phrase, or you can type in carpal tunnel and it will search without the words, right? Other things that you can do in terms of advanced searches in Google Scholar is you can tell it to search for the terms anywhere in the article, which would basically mean your abstract, it's in the title, it's in the keywords, it's somewhere within the text of the entire journal article, or you can tell it to specifically search within the title itself. My bet is that you're probably going to get a smaller amount of articles if you're more specific and you tell it to only search within the title. So it depends on if you want a large search a large number of research articles or a smaller number. If you want a larger number of research articles, I would start with anywhere. And then if that number is just too large and you want a smaller number of research articles, then I probably would tell it to search within the title. And then I really like this capability here, which is that you can search by a specific author. So let's say that you want to search for Dr. Brandon Sawyer or Dr. Jeff Sullivan, and you know for a fact that you just want to search for their research articles. It allows you to do that by typing in the author of a specific journal article. And then last but not least, for specifically for this class at least, I might say, find research articles within the last 3 years. And so the nice thing is you could type in 2012 to 2015, and then we could do a search for, let's say, carpal tunnel syndrome. And then we could say we probably want it anywhere in the article. And then we could click search and go to articles. And then again, we went from about 88,000 to 18,000 research articles on carpal tunnel. So again, if I wanted to save that, I could save it in my library. Other things that you could do is you could look at related articles, and that will obviously yield its own search as well. So this is the basics of Google Scholar. I wanted to give you a video on it because it probably is easier when you see it than when I screenshot it, but I will screenshot it as well. Looking forward to teaching you guys how to find the best evidence to answer your clinical question as you move through this program.